Hey, happy Tuesday. How are you doing? Good to see you. Today, in our 7 minutes of marketing, we're going to talk about how to stay in touch with your prospects, with your customers, with your clients using an evergreen nurture campaign. And so, what the heck's an evergreen campaign? Evergreen campaign. It's called Evergreen because the info in it is useful year round, no matter what. So it's not necessarily announcing a trade show, it's not announcing a new release of something. It is instead offering consistent, useful info that will be helpful at any time, no matter what's happening. And the reason this works so well is a lot of times we get caught up in trade shows, new product releases, something really timely. That's good. We want to announce that stuff for sure. But then there's these in between times when we're super busy working on something else and we don't necessarily stay in touch with our customers like we should. Just yesterday, I was talking with someone who was saying, "Oh, I just need something more consistent. We do have this list of people. We're not really in touch with them. We're following up with our hot leads, but the other people, not so much. Hopefully, we'll talk with them soon." So we started talking about an evergreen campaign and how that would help them. Evergreen campaign could look like a campaign that just, I'm going to pick a number, every 3 weeks, could be every 2 weeks, could be once a month, but let's just say every 3 weeks, you send out some useful information. And ideally, your customer sees themselves in that information. And then also, always make it really easy for them to take the next step. So, whether that's download a trial, book an appointment with you, whatever the thing is that they do before they buy, or whatever the thing is on that next step, right? So that if they go, "Ooh, I really like this. I wonder how I can work with them. I wonder what I should do next," that it's super obvious in there what that call to action is, what that next step is. And so, to think about what content should you might want to send out every 3 weeks, for example, in your evergreen campaign. Um, Go ahead, take out your pen, pencil, iPad, Apple Pencil, whatever you're using. Oh, hey, my Apple Pencil has an Allen wrench attached to it. I don't know. Anyway, well, however you do your sort of brainstorming notes, that kind of thing, and write down firstly the three or so top misconceptions about your business, what you offer, what your products do for people, because we all know that can happen. Like, one of the ones that I get, just for example, is people say, "Well, I don't want to do marketing automation because it's not personal." And so we talk about why, oh, actually, it's super personal. And here's the reasons why it's very personal and will help you start a sales conversation. So that's a misconception that I get to think about and talk with folks about all the time. And that's okay because I understand what they need. And so I address that by saying, "Hey, here's how this works. Here's what's happening. Here's how it's still personal." So, what are the top misconceptions in your business with your company, your product, your service, what you're offering? What are those misconceptions that come up where you're thinking, "Oh man, I always hear that question, or I always get that objection, and that's not really how it is. It's like this." So, write down three of those. Next. You can always pause the video and then do that. Next, write down the top three problems that you solve for people. And so those problems could be around, if it's a technology, making sure you stay on the air, or making sure your quality of video is really good, or making sure your network's good. And if it's a service, whatever it is you're solving with that. So write down the top three things that you're solving for people. And we're thinking about it with that sort of what's in it for me hat on. What do you what are you helping them with? Not really about you, why you're the best. You might be the best. I'm sure you are. Um, but really, this is pivoting and thinking about what problems are you solving for them. So write down three of those. And then take the next three, if you will, and write down the top questions that you get. So this may be a little bit different from the objections, the questions that people ask. "Hey, how does this work? How do I do this? What's the next step?" And the things that people need to know about before they can be a good customer or a good client and can work with you? Those questions that come up all the time. You know what they are. If you're not sure, look in your outbox, look in your DM, see what you're sending out to people and what those questions are that always come up. But I think you totally know what they are already. And then you could take it a step further and write down three more, three of your top applications. Those could look different to the three problems that you're solving, but the three sort of use cases that are happening with your product or service right now, write down three of those. You've already got 12 topics right there, just based on that. So you've got your top three misconceptions, top three problems that you're solving, top three questions that you get, top three applications. There's 12 topics right there. And you may already have videos, app notes, white papers, blog posts, or just some thoughts about those things that you can put down. And then also include in that Evergreen campaign whatever the obvious next step is, whether it's get on a call with you, download a trial, book a meeting, whatever the thing is that makes it easy for someone to go, yeah, I want to do the next thing. I want to work with these guys. I want to find out about working with them. That's what you put in there as well. And so you're being of service and you're focusing on really what the customer, what the client sees as their misconceptions, problems, needs, that kind of stuff. And you're helping them. And so you're being a resource and helping build that know, like, and trust, which lets people know, like, and trust you and then start to want to work with you. They're going to see themselves in the information that you're providing. And you'll never lose touch because during those busy times when you're at a show, you're working on a product or service release, you're following up with your hot leads, the warm leads, the people who've shown interest, but you're not really in touch with all the time. This is a great way to consistently stay in touch with them. And it interleaves great with whatever other marketing you are doing. So let me know what you think about that. If you have any questions, give me a call. If you want a chapter of my book, Seven Marketing Basics, just text me the word seven, SEVEN, to 1-530-203-5703. That book hit #1 in marketing for small business on Amazon. It's got some great stuff in it. The 7 things we do the most for clients, including some info on the Evergreen campaign. Take it and use it for yourself. All right. Have a beautiful day.